Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Modern Work Mondays. I am your host, and as always, I have with me the charming.
Jeff Strasser at Microsoft. Nolan, it's good to see you.
It's good, just get it out of your system, make fun of my jacket. It's fine. I'm excited. So
You've earned the right to wear that. I don't know what the right adjective is, but that jacket.
thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is fun. This is fun football. But let's talk a little bit about a conversation you and I actually had, I think, at NRF around, this was really very much a disciplined year at NRF, I think, in terms of like the reality of frontline worker tools and AI. But, we had that interesting conversation about like the real, like tactical, like bricks and glue component of this. Dive into that and let's see if I'm smart enough to keep up with you.
Yeah, well, I think what's most interesting, the tools that we're seeing in frontline, at least in the last year or two, like at least from my perspective, they haven't evolved tremendously, right? It's still very centered around task management, and kind of traditional frontline worker store tasks. But I think what is going to happen very quickly is, and we've talked about this previously, is that will very quickly be supplemented and or replaced by agents in a much more dynamic way, right? So there'll be a lot more intelligence on the back end and agents looking at different systems and different signals, more dynamically assigning those tasks, but also delivering those to users in different ways, right? So potentially not just on a task list, which will still be there, but through connected devices, through radios, engaging directly with the user in an automated fashion, and then also the user being able to interact through their radio or through their connected device, like a Zebra device, using voice to guide them through that step, right? Because often these tasks are things they haven't done previously, or they're going to need steps or guidance, or if it's specific to a product or an end cap or an incident or accident, like they'll be fed that information, I think, proactively by the agents. And I think this will, it'll improve task completion rates. It'll, the time to achieve those tasks and to complete those tasks will be faster. The accuracy of those tasks will be faster. And as the kind of the systems and the agents evolve and become more connected to other systems, merchandising, inventory, et cetera, right? Think about like ESLs. I was just having a conversation with another partner of ours, Fusion, and like you look at some ESL's ability to look down the aisle and see what's on the shelf, right? And so from a replenishment standpoint, minimizing out of stocks, those sorts of things, those then dynamically being connected and assigning tasks, guiding the worker to where the product is. I mean, all sorts of crazy opportunities, but the building blocks, as you said, are connecting the systems, connecting the devices, and connecting the communication channel. And I think we have these great ideas and the data's there, and now it's starting to bring these things together to make it real.
Yeah, I mean, that is super exciting. Yes, you make a good call out on like the task thing hasn't changed, but and some of the things that we were doing with the Zebra folks down in the Zebra booth at NRF was, scanning to complete tasks and scanning that would then prompt something, right? You go into check a restroom. We've got new legislation up here in Ontario, whereby you actually have to have a digital file that shows that you've done your restroom checks during that day. It's a brand new thing that happened on January 1st. But like to kick off that task, that notification, scanning your way through that task. Hey, look, I've checked all the stalls, I've checked the garbage, I've checked the paper towel, or what the case may be, and all of a sudden you scan something and you say like this faucet is leaking, and the journey for that was a notification over ear or through Zebra device to actually initiate it, but then it becomes an agentic journey using tools like the simplicity of scanning or like the simplicity of radio, that then actually kicking off the agent, not like let's go sit down at a computer and type a bunch of questions into an agent.
Yeah, and it's the proof that it's done, right? From a compliance regulatory standpoint, like the example you mentioned. You think about, you receive a delivery from DoorDash or Uber Eats or anybody else, retailer you purchase from, like typically there's a photo taken when they put it on your doorstep, right? The proof that is done. Not every task will require a photo. Some may, but that's also not always the most efficient way to complete that. But yeah, to be able to take that device, tap it, kind of validate that the right employee was there doing that work. So, but getting those foundations in place, and it's a lot of technical plumbing, right, for the communications channel, bringing those data sources together, aggregating them, and then the algorithms to assign the right task to the right people at the right time. So, there are many tools that are doing that today, but there's so much more tech going into the stores that can feed into that and make the stores that much more efficient in the way they assign tasks and operate.
It's very cool. Yeah, I mean, I love your comment about taking the picture on the doorstep, right? Like we worked and did a lot of integrations with Zebra for the NRF release of kind of push to talk to walkie-talkie, as well as the scan to close through tasking within Zebra's platform. And I think it's really fascinating because I think that we did some patent work, and it was a matter of like leveraging an optical reference, right? So whether the optical reference is a barcode, a QR code, a GS1, that's going to break out here, or a photo, that is then additional data that actually drives you in other directions. So suddenly you take in a retail setting, you take a picture of a task done, and now optically you see, oh, we've got some out of stocks, but quick inventory query, that product is in the building. So why is it not full at the home location? Now it's kicking off a net new task on the fly, kind of like, Waze. I don't know if you ever use Waze for navigation, amazing platform built by the Israeli dudes. I mean, it's just so neat to be able to then say, okay, I paid this associate to walk to this area of the aisle. I now have a task I didn't even know existed until I had this photo to review. I know that you're supposed to go here next. I'm going to dispatch somebody else, fill the hole, and then I'll give you a net new task depending on how that works out.
Yeah, or even while you're there, I analyze this photo you just took because you're completing something else out, and I saw this in the background. Can you resolve this, fix this, because you're
Yes.
already on this end of the store, just depending on how fast these things can be done. So the opportunity is so tremendous. Getting the plumbing in place, getting the architectures in place, getting the communications out to the store employees in place, and then bringing the data together. So agents can constantly be running, and as any new piece of information comes out, you can prioritize and optimize the assignment and routing of tasks.
I
It's
love
cool.
how this conversation is getting simpler because it's where it needed to have started, but it was like a kid with a new toy in AI, and it was like, let's show you all the cool things to do. Like the fact we're talking about scanning, the fact we're talking about taking a photo, the fact that we're talking about, two-way radios. We're not talking about robotics. You never mentioned that. We're not talking about crazy camera, things that run up and down on shelves and whatnot. I love the simplicity because it's where this is actually going to work. So it's a very exciting time. And I think we saw that at NRF. That was very consistent at NRF.
Yeah, and it's real. Like there's cameras in stores, typically with enough fidelity to already use computer vision to start to analyze where things may need to be taken care of. Plus, you're taking photos of these other tasks you're completing them, and so you're building this kind of big picture of what's going well and what's not going well. Yeah, it's an incredible opportunity.
I like it. I like how it's getting simple. Thanks, buddy. Have a great week.
You too.
Bye, pal.